And anybody out there in the BWF Nation, if you know a way for us to take your money besides Patreon, please let us know in the comments. We're desperate.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this a long time now. This is the lifetime span of your average podcast is 3 weeks, and
Wow.
and we have exceeded that. We are the elderly when it comes to podcasts. I don't remember a time before the BWF podcast, personally. So you guys have been enjoying us for so long. We've been out here doing ridiculous stuff, putting out things that's borderline racist, but not really, but you're not really sure. We are waxing things off of us. We are humiliating ourselves publicly. It's time for you to give back for all the entertainment that you've been getting for us for nearly 40 episodes now.
I almost died on this podcast for your entertainment. I choked on Tabasco sauce. My throat closed up. I could not breathe. That shit's real.
Free ride's over, folks.
This is the BWF Wrestling Podcast. With your host and the leader of the BWF Nation, the King, Susan Little Babu, the undisputed BWF Champion, Aaron Bishop!
BWF Nation, welcome once again to another weekly edition of the BWF Wrestling Podcast. As always, I am your host, The Bish, and joining us, G. Patrick Condon. My friend, how are you this week?
There we go. Hold on.
There we go.
Aaron, you've never looked more handsome. You've never looked more beautiful than you do right now. It's a new setup. Dare I say, more professional. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's about time, we manned up a little bit and
That's right.
Step up. Yeah, step up the game.
It's beautiful stuff. And I see the photo of you there with Hulk Hogan. That's beautiful. What do we got going on today? How's your week been?
Oh, busy week as always with work, but cannot complain. At work right now is actually the busiest time of the year. It's called wave season. That's where we're selling most of our cruises and stuff like that. So it's just been nonstop. But as I said, can't complain. How's the movie going for you?
Well, today was a day of intense down to the wire. We got the gear shipped in. We got the work visas in for our non-Canadian cast. We have hotels being booked. The money is flowing. It's out of control, but it's in my control. So we'll see what happens. I'm probably going to fire somebody. Maybe. I'm not looking forward to it. But if you don't come up to my expectations, you're out of here. Okay. We're not making a movie together. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you know what? I had a little bit of disappointing news this week. Yeah, that I was waiting to bring you on the show to talk about. As you know, we're going to WrestleCon, and in an effort to do it, we have applied to so many different funders to get our travel at least a little bit accommodated for. The Canadian government spends so much money on arts, and then we come around, we're going down to WrestleCon, we're promoting Canadian content, we're going to be promoting ourselves, And because it's wrestling and because we're doing a video podcast, they consider this a talk show. And so they don't consider this art. And that's... Tease me off, Aaron. I don't like it, and things have got to change. You know, Bret the Hitman Hart, he says that wrestling is an art form. Aaron, what do you think?
100% it's an art form. How is it not an art form?
I don't know. Well, you gotta get past all that and just convince them that wrestling isn't what they think it is. You know, and this is the other thing that I as explained in all of our applications. Pro wrestling, it goes across generations. As we say here every week, every community has a indie wrestling organization. It brings people here who have wealth. People who are broke can afford to go and see it. It's live theater. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what your sexual preference is. It draws all people. And I think the Canadian government can't comprehend it. They want the arts to be off and into their own little section where only the pretentious get to watch and discuss all these boring movies that nobody ever watches, all these stupid TV shows that misrepresent Canadians to older Canadians. You know, I don't know who watches it. If you go around and ask anybody outside of my industry what their favorite Canadian movie is, they'll probably say Trailer Park Boys. And that, you know, I mean, that TV show and movie was like, it's been over for, I don't know, like a decade now. So there's no significance. So I'm just a little peed.
That is unfortunate news that hurts my soul. I've never been so disappointed in the Canadian government in my life. Canadian government, you fucking suck.
That's right.
Almost.
Anyways, we'll see now. I think our next plan of attack to get down there is to open up a Patreon account, because this Ko-fi nonsense, people don't like it. We can't offer people anything. But if we get a Patreon going, we can offer stickers, we can offer merchandise, we can offer videos before they're officially released. You know, we can have some tiers and stuff like that. People know Patreon; they trust Patreon. So maybe that's what we'll have to do, Aaron. And you know, by hook or by crook, we'll get down there and we're going to promote Canada, promote Canadian arts, whether the Canadian government, whether the Newfoundland government likes it or not.
Well said. And anybody out there in the BWF Nation, if you know a way for us to take your money besides Patreon, please let us know in the comments. We're desperate.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this a long time now. This is the lifetime span of your average podcast is 3 weeks, and
wow.
And we have exceeded that. We are the elderly when it comes to podcasts. I don't remember a time before the BWF podcast, personally. So you guys have been enjoying us for so long. We've been out here doing ridiculous stuff, putting out things that's borderline racist, but not really, but you're not really sure. We are waxing things off of us. We are humiliating ourselves publicly. It's time for you to give back for all the entertainment that you've been getting for us for nearly 40 episodes now.
I almost died on this podcast for your entertainment. I choked on Tabasco sauce. My throat closed up. I could not breathe. That shit's real.
Free ride's over, folks. Okay? The free ride's over. We know you marks out there got all this expendable income that you're using to buy the WWF network. Well, guess what? Now it's on Peacock. You don't need to spend that $10 anymore a month on Peacock or the WWF network. You can spend it on the BWF network and not even $10, $5. I mean, how broke are you? You're living in your mother's basement. You're not paying rent, that's for sure. The cost of food is going up, but chicken nuggets aren't. They are the same low price.
It's true. That is so true. And you know what? Your money will go a long way. Not only will it, cover punishments and entertainment for you, but it'll allow us to do more interviews like at WrestleCon. Speaking of like that, pricing is insane. Just for an autograph for Sting is $80 US.
Man,
Sting
doesn't need that money. All right. And I got a feeling that these people, they're not going to have any money set aside in their budget for the BWF podcast. I think they're going to put their $80 in to go and get the second thing with Sting. As I'm saying that, I'm looking at the photo with you and Hulk Hogan, but it's not the same. It's not the same. How much did you pay for that Hulk Hogan photo? Now, this is Hulk Hogan. He's the best wrestler of all time. How much?
I don't think I paid that much for it because it was like a SummerSlam question, Q&A kind of thing with him and Jerry Lawler. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It was probably $50 US that got us in there and gave us like a poster, an autograph poster, and a picture with Hogan. So
that's sweet.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really is.
And so, I know that Sting's retiring. There's no retirement fund in wrestling, but I mean, $80 for a photo of Sting. Were you planning on getting a photo of Sting?
I was hoping to get it. I was hoping to get his autograph, but I mean, fuck, I don't know. An autograph and photo, the combo is $150 US, so he's knocking $10 off.
If you get both of them.
Yeah.
Wow. And is it not personalized stuff? I'm sure you can't ask for anything. You just go up and
no, you can bring your own item. You can bring your own item to get signed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Sting. Do not cash in on Tony Khan's dad's money that you should be doing it for free is my feeling. Although he'll be retired by then, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyways, look, maybe in a couple of years, we'll be charging people $170 for the privilege of meeting us for a second and getting a photo where, he's going to be like this every time. Like this.
God, I mean, WrestleCon is supposed to be a place where we can all get together, as fans and family, and just be one and not be gouged once in our goddamn life by any, my God, $150, man. Like, how can I afford that? I want to see other people too. Like, people have to pick and choose, like, their icons that they want to meet. And it's not fair, Sting. It's not fair, okay? Be a man, lower your price. Allow everybody just to say hello. Come on. Jesus.
It's true. That's great stuff. Okay, Aaron, that was an impassioned plea. We move on, I guess, now to the news. We go on to the news. All right, what's going on in the world of pro wrestling this week, Mr. Aaron Bishop?
Well, normally we would start off with some Vince McMahon shit or, I don't know, some WrestleMania stuff, but this week...
shit, go on.
This week we're going to start off with a little, segment in a segment called Val Venus is a piece of shit.
We're going there already.
Yeah, we're going to go there right now. We're out.
Tell me what you're talking about here.
So, Val Venus, Sean Morley, these are actual tweets from the man within the past 4 days, okay? Apparently he's found Jesus, he's gone all religious, and then he's just gone all fucking crazy on Facebook here. So as we all know,
which is weird because he was a porno star is his thing. But Vince Russo always said that he gave him that gimmick because he thought that it was the opposite of what Sean Morley was. But whatever Sean Morley's current beliefs are, obviously it didn't stop him from cashing in a paycheck in a previous time. So what was he saying on Facebook?
So just for context, Sean Morley is now very anti homosexual, very anti LGBTQ, very anti everything, very pro Christian, anti abortion. But yet, as we all know, he's still making, he's a Christian, but he's still making money off T-shirts that are promoting sex with porn stars and, stuff like that. But anyway, here's just one of the things that Sean Morley has said within the past week. As we know, Sonya Deville got married to her
yes, very,
partner.
Very attractive.
Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, he says, I don't know who Sonya and Tony are. All I know is that they will never reproduce. So their bloodline ends with them. Their salvation is tossed in the trash. Only the hand of Jesus can rectify their current situation.
Now, I don't know why Sean Morley really even cares about whether or not these two ladies reproduce. That seems to be a big thing for these homophobes, is that they're saying, I don't got a problem with what's going on, but if everybody was gay, then we would not be able to reproduce. So what did you do? You obviously saw that and you decided you would not do anything about it. You were like happy enough just to read it and shake your head.
Well, he would go on to say, making fun of people without Jesus. He has men in quotation marks without faith in Jesus. Sonya and Tony is a true love story. And then he goes on to say, men who ride with Jesus. Those poor human souls are destined for eternity outside of the kingdom of God. Let's pray for them.
And so what was the response underneath?
And then he would go on to others say,
oh my God,
XX
still
equals
going.
woman, XY equals man, hashtag facts matter. So this is when I started getting a little bit mad.
Now, why did you get mad about this? Is it because you are so gay that it offended you personally?
No, but just...
I don't think you need to deny it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, so...
Listen, I have lots of gay friends, and just for the fact of human decency and human rights, this guy is a fucking asshole.
Beautiful. I love that. That's a great answer. All right, so I brought up your... yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, we got it here. Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah, so so you, using the BWF account, not personal. I don't know if you ended it off by signing your name, so who knows?
I did not, no.
Okay, so we're both saying this. What is it? What was your response to him?
My response was, Christians love to preach about loving one another, love thy neighbor, etc., but they are the first ones to judge and damn people who they've never met. Religion has started more war and caused more death in human history than anything else. Go praise your floating spaghetti monster in the sky and keep selling merchandise that promotes sexual or deviant sexual behavior like banging porn stars and having sex outside of marriage. You hypocritical piece of trash.
Nice. Wow.
And also we'll go on to say, if you think believing in a mythical being with superpowers is going to take your soul after you die, and if you think you're going to be self-aware and reunited with loved ones, that's your prerogative. It probably means you're retarded, but that's your prerogative. Remember anything before you were born? No. Guess what? That's what death is. It's nothing. People should be able to choose who they love and want to marry without some batshit insane, overbearing Christian asshole spewing their unwanted opinions at them. You don't like it? You know who else didn't like it? Hitler. Go watch your motocross and mind your own business, because he loves motocross. But Val Venus, you, sir, are a piece of fucking shit.
I mean, those are very, very, you touch upon a lot of stuff. So not only a very thorough takedown, But what I kind of find interesting and I want to get into about is that, so you don't believe that there's any afterlife. You don't think that when you die, anything happens. You think you are an atheist, I guess. Are you?
I mean, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. Become 41 years old, your mind starts thinking about these things a lot more, right? I mean, and I don't know. Do I want to think that there's an afterlife? Do I want to think that there's spirits and stuff like that? Yes, of course I do. I don't want to think that after we close our eyes that's it, we're done. But I mean, if we think about it logically, it's probably going to be just like it was before we were born, just not aware of any existence until we were, and then until we're not. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. Now, I want to say that no matter what happens in this conversation, Val Venus is an asshole, and I back you fully with this. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care if people believe in God, but most people don't give a shit what other people are doing, or if people are happy and not hurting everybody, then that brings them joy, which is the way that I kind of look at it. I mean, they're two very attractive women. And that's pretty much all that I looked at that. I was like, wow, those are two very attractive women. And then whatever. But you believe in ghosts, right?
I mean, I want to. It's like I want to, but I don't think so. No, I don't really think there is, but I want to. Okay, I've had a ghost experience, as we talked about before in our audio version of the show. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, man.
The people of this podcast, I think, are going to be shocked to hear your lack of spirituality, because not only is it that you believe in ghosts, but there's also the infamous time that you went to see Passion of the Christ and cried because Jesus did all that stuff for us. Yep. Oh, Aaron, what about all that crying about Jesus at Passion of the Christ?
It's definitely totally plausible and realistic to think that Jesus was an actual historical figure and actually did go through all that shit. So,
okay, cool. Well, all right. Look, I ain't trying to challenge you on anything. I just find it interesting. I myself am 40, young 40 years old, so I don't know that the weight that you hold being a 41-year-old and just seeing yourself that much closer to death. But I've been looking back at the history of the world and fascinating stuff with the Old Testament and the New Testament and stuff like that. And, there's obviously been a lot of foolish things added to that Bible. I don't think, and this is fairly I guess, like, this is not an edgy take or anything, but I think a lot of people have a spiritual side, hope that there is a God, hope that they go to heaven, hope that they get to see the people of their lives again, and that this is not it. They don't like organized religion because of all of the horrible things that it has done. And so this seems to be Mr. Sean Morley's thing, is that he is a man of hate. He's a man of anger. He sees people in love and it makes him upset. And, nobody wants to see that. That's not cool.
No. I don't get it. He spends all day like on his Facebook just trashing people and trashing humans and their decisions. And man, get a goddamn life. You fuck nut. God, I can't even with you anymore. I'm done. Let's move on to bigger and more happier things. I do believe our interview is waiting for us.
I don't see anybody in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. He's clicking on the link, but he's not in the waiting room. Okay, I'll deal with that in a second.
Who is it? Does he know that he's about to come live on air? You gotta tell him. You gotta tell him that when you're chit-chatting with the bish, you're going live on air. Now, Aaron, we established something last week that people have been very happy with us about, and that is our celebration of Black History Month. We talked about Booker T last week. This week we're talking about WrestleMania 14 that has Mike Tyson, one of my favorite black people of all time. Love hearing from Mike, hearing about Mike. But we also have a guest on, and what is it about this guest that makes it appropriate?
This man, Nisipi, he is originally from Africa. His family moved to Canada when they were very young, and he managed to find his way from Quebec over here to Alberta. He started training with Lance Storm to become a wrestler, but since then he has shifted gears a little bit, and now he's trained to be an MMA fighter. And his first fight is coming up very, very soon. And he's a good man. He's a laugh. I can't wait to have him here on the show in a few minutes and have a talk with him. I haven't seen him in probably a couple of years, so
that's what you get when you're chit-chatting with the Bish.
Yeah. Nisipi, hey.
Glad to hear you. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, how's it
going?
going?
How are you?
Good. Thank you. Yes, I couldn't hear you guys for a few seconds.
Oh, okay. But we're all good now, yeah?
Oh, good. Yes, we're good now.
Perfect. Dude, good to fucking see you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it's been way too long, hasn't it?
Way too long, man. Way too long. Let's see them pipes. Let's see them.
Oh, come on. They're not that big.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Here we go. Get a round of applause. Here we go.
Good stuff.
Oh, I appreciate that round of applause.
Oh, so Nisipi, my friend, this is Patrick. I'm just telling him how we met over COVID. We were going we were doing this government-funded program for the unemployed.
Red Deer College.
Yeah, Red Deer College. And we just hit it off, man. We both just discovered our love for wrestling, and boom, here we are. At the time, you were starting to train with Lance Storm to become a wrestler, but now
I got a question before we get into that. How is it that you discovered that you both were into pro wrestling? That you guys were both a fan? How did that come about? Do you remember?
Yes. Well, I actually remember. So what happened was, I remember after class, we all decided to go to the bar, and we had like a few drinks. And on that night, I was going to a show, actually, to RCW in Calgary. And then, I remember when, Aaron heard me talking about it. That's when, he came up, and, he spoke about, how, he also loved wrestling and stuff. And I don't think we spoke much before that, because,
no.
Because I barely showed up to class, number one. And and number two, I barely spoke to anyone. And that day, I just happened to have liquor in my system and a lot of confidence.
There you go. And Aaron his ears are always peeled and open, ready to hear somebody talk a little bit about pro wrestling. And then, boom, he's on you for life. That's how we became friends, actually.
About wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So
wrestling brings people together.
Yeah, it does. We were just talking about that, actually. It does. It sort of goes across all races, all sexuality, all ages, Everybody, you can see everybody at a wrestling show. So you guys talk a little bit. We actually spoke with somebody, I think, from RPW a couple of weeks ago. Isn't that right, Aaron?
RCW, yeah.
RCW, yeah. Pardon me.
Yeah.
And so take it from there. You had already been training at that point?
Yes. I had been training at that point, because what had happened was I used to train with Storm Academy.
Yeah.
But then I had to leave, because at the time I didn't have enough funds to keep paying for it.
Yeah.
And then around that time, just before me and Aaron met, I had gotten with this school. It was called at the time it was called Work Performance Center, and Workhorse Fitness. And then they got in trouble for trademarking Tyson Kidd, so then they changed it to Workforce Fitness. Yeah, and then I was with them for a while, and then for about 3 months, and then I left wrestling for a bit. And then like I remember like at the time when like me and Aaron were talking at that time, I was just going back to wrestling, to RCW, and I had found a new wrestling school called Abeda Wrestling Academy.
And so, how did you get into wrestling? What was did you watch it as a kid, or what? When did you get into it?
Oh, crazy story actually was back when I used to live in South Africa. I had this best friend who lived across the road from me. And at the time, like, we didn't have cable, so I didn't really know much about wrestling. But like, he used to come to my house and call me and be like, Nasi, wrestling is on, and like every time like he come like, Nasi, wrestling is on. And then after that, like, I just couldn't stop watching it. And the crazy thing is he doesn't even watch it anymore.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so is it popular in South Africa?
Very.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. To be honest, I feel like wrestling at one point was probably like the number one most popular sport in South Africa. Because like rugby and soccer are also very popular, but like wrestling was up there too.
Wow. Cool. And so then you moved to Canada. Wrestling is obviously huge here, certainly per capita. I mean, like everybody, you'll find wrestling fans everywhere. So what point are you going like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm going to go to a school and train?
Oh, yes. I believe this was high school. Because like during lunch breaks, I had like these two friends who loved playing, who loved watching wrestling too. They also wanted to be wrestlers. So like during lunchtime, like, like we would go outside and like, I choose a character. I'll be maybe Brock Lesnar. And then like, maybe like he'll be like Roman Reigns or something. And then we'll have a referee. And then like, we would just like, just wrestle outside. And then I remember one of them told me about Storm Academy Wrestling because I didn't know about it. And then like, so then what happened was I had ended up moving to Calgary. So then I ended up Googling it as I was moved to Calgary. And then like, at the time, I didn't really take a look much at the prices, Mm-hmm. Like I thought that like I could just pay 1,000 right now, and then like a month later I could maybe pay 1,000 again. But then like it was like, okay, pay 1,000 now, and then on the first day you get there, you gotta pay $3,500. You know?
Wow,
Jesus!
And then and at the time I think I was like 19 years old, and I was living with my friend and his parents. So I didn't really have the money to fund it.
Yeah.
And like there was like
yes, there's a lot,
and there was like no refund too. Lance had this the no refund policy.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he allowed me to train for like about a month as long as I could gather the money, but I wasn't able to like gather it on time, so I had to leave.
What did that's too bad. I had no idea that it was that expensive to go there. And yeah, like you said, I mean, these are private schools, so there's no support or anything, right? Like it's all coming out of your pocket. How did you find the month? Was it physically taxing as everybody says it was? Like, did you work out and do squats and stuff until you got sick?
No. It honestly wasn't that hard. Because Lance was pretty lenient. It was very lenient. If it's like, okay, like you're struggling or like you can't handle this, it's like work at your own pace kind of thing. It's how I found it. And that whole month, like we were there, we just did basics. Basics. At the time, I didn't even know how to bump correctly, like I was so scared of falling on my back.
Right. Yeah.
So
back bumps. Yeah. That's it's harder than it looks, right?
Oh yes, way harder than it looks. Like, cause if you land that wrong, like it wins you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it wins you.
So how's Lance Storm in real life? Is he actually as serious as he seems on camera, or is he?
Yeah. No, I mean training, yes, but like before and after training, it's all conversations. Like he would take like a lot of time to like tell you stories about his time in the WWE and everything. About Vince, about Chris Jericho, road stories and everything.
Awesome.
I'd love to hear some of
Yes.
those road stories. Yeah, they must be good.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
You never know with Lance, though. I mean, what it takes to get a rise out of Lance might be like, this one time, Chris Jericho, he ordered 2 hamburgers at Dairy Queen. Crazy. It's like, what a wild man.
I mean,
Right.
like on camera, like he's a lot different on camera. Like even from like his interviews, like he's a lot more lenient, a lot more chill. You know, like yeah, on camera, like he's still himself. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like when like it's off camera, it's like it's just like a lot more chill.
A little bit more relaxed. Yeah. That's good.
Yes, way more.
Yeah.
So, as far as other people in your class, were there other like names that we would recognize?
That you recognize. It depends because like out of the people in my class, only one is still doing wrestling, and right now he's wrestling with Academy.
Okay.
Sorry, with Alberta Academy Wrestling.
Okay.
And his name, they call him Danny Mayhem.
Okay.
He wrestled for RCW a little bit,
Gotcha,
but
okay.
he's the only one, as far as I know, from that class who's still wrestling.
Okay.
And then one guy that I trained with him before me and him even met. His name is, they call him Kid Chocolate. His name is Mo. Right now he's doing a few AEW dark shows. He's traveling around the world. But he used to train for Storm Academy Wrestling.
Okay.
But I didn't meet him until I went to Workforce Pro Wrestling.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
So, are most of those people, they're just out of everything altogether? Like you've transitioned into MMA now and you've been training for MMA. Have any of those other people been doing the same thing as you, or they're just done?
To be honest, I haven't heard much about the other people.
Okay.
But we had this one girl in our class. She was the only female.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy story was I haven't spoke to her in years. I haven't heard about her in years or nothing. And I remember one day I was working for Clean Harbors and I was all the way in Fort McMurray. And somehow, like, because like there was 2 of us working in the, working in each job, because it was like those big trucks, like those class 1 trucks. So I was the labor. And then this one dude ended up being the driver. And it happened to be that like he was that girl's boyfriend that I used to train with,
Oh, crazy. Okay.
And apparently she had transitioned into modeling. And yes, and I believe she's still modeling.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a small world when you're in that community, right? When you go when you're in the pro wrestling world, people know each other and stuff. We've heard like was it Benoit's kid was
yes,
training up there
David
for a bit too?
Yes, David. I got to train like 2 classes with him. And both were at different gyms. One was at Workforce, and then the other one was at AWA Academy Alberta Wrestling. And
yeah, it's strange because you'd think that I mean he appeared on Dark Side of the Ring. It seems like people would be happy to give him a shot, not sort of like hold him down because of what his dad did. But he doesn't seem to be doing anything. Did he? Does he wrestle a lot in Alberta these days, or?
No. To be honest with you, like, it's like, he was born like into that wrestling life, but I don't think it's actually his passion. Because at both wrestling gyms, he only showed up once, and the one time he showed up, like all the cameras were on him, because he basically came with the camera crew. Oh. And as soon as he came, I remember at our workforce, the owner of workforce, Ali, he said, he was like, you know what, this guy is here, and he can get us the spotlight, and everything. So we all have to make sure that we keep him happy,
Wow.
He wasn't treated like a regular student. And I remember he was supposing to stay, because we had like a wrestling house. He was supposing to stay with us there. And the things like on that night when he came, we were just having conversations, listening to music, had a few drinks, not going crazy. And I remember he went to complain to Ali that he doesn't want to be around us if we're drinking and stuff, And then Ali came to us. He was like, I need this guy here, and if I have to kick all of you out, I will kick all of you out.
Wow.
Because
this guy and he doesn't even want to be there, really.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't even want to be there. It's almost like he's just forced to be there because that's his dad's career path.
Yeah.
Glad you brought this up, because we see people online all the time saying, give David a chance. Oh, boo David, this and that and the other thing. And he doesn't even want to do it. He wants nothing to do with it. He's a prima donna. He just wants to live his own life. So people online, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like he... It doesn't sound like he doesn't want anything to do with it. He wants to be treated better without putting any of the work in.
Yes. I mean, because for him, he's got the opportunities that I wish I had, he's got Chris Jericho's phone number if he wants to go to AEW, he's got Natalia and Tyson Kidd's phone number if he wants to go to WWE. Yeah. Wherever he wants to go, he will get a tryout, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that some people, just because of his name, would even be happy to train him for free,
Oh yeah. I mean, your guy Ali, he's one of many that a Benoit name would bring eyes to any school, any promotion, and whatever. So how did you find him sort of personally? Did you find that he, cause it's a bit weird, not weird. It's a bit I don't know. To complain about the boys having a couple of drinks and listening to music, that's a bit of a geek move.
You would think somebody born into the business would, be accepting of the boys having a beer or two after a show or whatnot. That just sounds ridiculous to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, personally, he seemed like a nice guy, but he seemed very quiet, it seems like one of those guys that he's one of those guys that you can say hi to him and everything, he'd be nice and everything, but he doesn't really wanna hang out much or actually talk much stuff. It's he wants to be left alone kind of vibe,
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's because of us, maybe because we are not stars or whatever, or if that's just his personality, because I don't know how he is with Chris Jericho or the guys he hangs out with in person.
So, well, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's sort of it's an easier path for him to have success here, but he doesn't want to do it. And there's a whole lot of baggage attached to that as well, I'm sure. But like, yeah, it just sounds like you should probably move into a new career or something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what is it that made you decide that you wanted to get into MMA and give it a shot?
Give it a shot. To be honest, like me, like I've always wanted to do wrestling, and one day I plan on going back. It's just the issue that I had with wrestling was because like wrestling, it's not like one of those things where like you can actually determine like your own success much, you know? It's more like if they like you, you know, like you can go far, you know?
Yeah.
If they like how you look, you know, like how you speak and everything. And for me, like, you know, like I enjoy wrestling, but the problem was I wasn't like getting like, you know, like one-on-one matches and everything. Like I was seeing people that like, you know, like I know like I'm better than you at this, like you know, get the show before me.
Yeah.
And all they were making me do was just be extras at Battle Royals, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you know, at the same time, there was like another place that was like a rivalry to AWA, and they were trying to like recruit me, you know. And like I could see that, like, you know, they probably trying to recruit me because like they want to get back at this school, you know. And it's just so much like politics, like, you know, like especially in the indie scenes, like, you know, like everybody, it's almost like they think they are already big stars, you know. Like, so when I transitioned to MMA, basically so I could pick my own destiny, because if I win or lose a fight, like that's on me, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. They can't deny you if you win, and in pro wrestling you don't get to decide if you win or not.
Yes, exactly.
So what does the typical training day for you look like with your MMA?
So I would have like Mondays it'd be like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
Okay.
So they'd be like back-to-back classes.
Yeah.
And then Tuesdays it'd be jiu-jitsu. And like each class is about an hour or 2 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then Wednesdays it'd be like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai again. Then Thursdays is just jiu-jitsu. And because like that's all what MMA is, right? It's basically just kickboxing and wrestling, you know. So from Mondays to Thursdays I was training, and then Fridays we would have like an open mat where if like you wanna learn extra things, you know, like you can go, or like you see something on TV, you're like, okay, I like that, I want to work on it. And then Saturdays was rest days. Then Sunday was advanced, you know, advanced class where only the competitive people are training, you know.
Crazy.
Yep. Yes. I haven't been training much in like this last month or two. Yeah, because like I had ended up moving to Calgary. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, I still live in Calgary, and I'm working in Calgary at the moment. So like, you know, I was training like for this past because I think I moved in November. Yeah, I moved in November, so I was just training Muay Thai because I went to a Muay Thai gym. And yeah, so, and I haven't went back since I believe December.
Are you patterning yourself after anybody in particular?
Sorry?
Are you patterning yourself after anybody? Like, are you, is there any influences that you're trying to take in your moveset?
Yeah, definitely. Cause I look at the short guys, cause I'm short. Mm-hmm. So I look at Alex Volkanovski. He's having a fight tomorrow, and I watch how he moves, you know, like how he controls the space and everything. I like Alex Pereira too. I stole some of his combos, you know, like he's way taller and bigger than me, but some of his stuff work for me.
Yeah.
And there's just so much. And then when it comes to wrestling, I stole some of Kamaru Usman's moves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So do you have a timeline of when you want to make your I guess like professional debut?
Professional? To be honest, I was thinking going professional maybe at least in 3 years.
Okay.
So so like until then, I'm just gonna do the amateur fights.
Yeah. Sorry. So have you done any amateur fights so far?
I had one amateur Muay Thai fight.
Yeah.
Which I lost by decision to a much more advanced fighter than I am.
Nice. Well, that'll give you confidence.
Yeah.
But you have one coming up now, right? You have a new amateur fight coming up soon?
Yeah. Well, I got invited to this thing. It's called Ultra MMA. And it's happening in Calgary. So it'd be like my MMA debut. But like this is like a charity event, you know? It's like I would train for 8 weeks for free. And then like, I have to fight for them for free too, because like they're raising money and it's going to charity. I believe Tom Espinel from the UFC is a heavyweight interim champion. Like he's got something to do with that. It's fundraising.
Well, you let me know if you're going to fight because I want to come watch you, man. I want to see you in action, all right?
Yes. I am planning on fighting so far, I believe registration is in April.
Okay.
So, so I would register in April and then I believe June 17 is the event.
Tell you what, you keep us in the loop here. You let me know everything, and then we're going to bring the BWF cameras to your location, and we're going to film everything. Okay, we're going to document you and your success all the way up. Okay, every step of the way.
Yes, I would love that. And
awesome. Well, it was awesome. It was awesome chatting with you and getting to know behind the scenes of becoming an independent wrestler here in Alberta.
Yes, thank you. It was awesome talking to you guys too. I'm a big fan. I've been loving the podcast that Eric has been sending me.
Nice. Now listen. Now I don't know if you remember this or not. Now this is the flag where Bret Hart has signed, Roddy Piper has signed. There's all kinds of legends on this flag. You remember this right here? Do you remember this day right here? This is you, my friend. This is Mississippi right here.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at that.
Like I signed that like inside the bar too, because I remember you rented the car to go get it, and then I signed it inside the bar. It's cool.
That's right. So you got to make it. Remember, you have no choice now but to make it. Your name's on the flag.
Yes, I will make it either way. I plan on going back to wrestling. One of these days. Definitely not done with it. Because even though I've done a battle royal, I was so over with the crowd, like I was totally over in just a battle royal.
Yeah.
So I gotta go back.
That's awesome.
Listen, no matter what, man, I'm proud of you, man. And fuck, man, it's so good to see you again. Thank you so much for taking the time to joining us, man. It's been awesome. We'll have you on again.
Aaron, thank you so much for the invite. I loved doing this.
No worries, man. No worries.
We'll talk to you again soon. Okay.
Take it easy,
sounds
man.
good. You guys take it easy too. Have a good night. Bye.